Alrighty. Hey guys. I'm here today with Ange, and we're just going to talk about what Ange has experienced and what she is experiencing now when in our sessions that we've worked together. So, Ange, before we started working together, is battling certain circumstances that are out of her control. So there's nothing that she can do about them because they're external situations. And when we started working together and we started doing some sessions together, she walked away with tools that helped her face and battle those external circumstances in a different perspective, in a different way. So that's a really good those are really good tools that Ange has walked away with. Ange, in your own words, tell me, what were you feeling and or what were the circumstances and how did you walk away with what tools? Give us your secret sauce and advice.
Mm. So with living with brain disease, CTE, I have had a lot of challenges over the last few years since September 2011. So yeah, it's taken a lot out of me in terms of the disease and facing the ignorance of the type of disease. So yeah, it's just sorry I might get emotional,
Oh, that's okay.
but
That's okay.
what I've learned from Shana and what she's given me, uh, different ways in which to face what I'm facing and a different perspective and better way to fight. Like, so you find it, you face it, you fight it,
Yeah.
and just keep going, and then you can release to peace and just never forget who you are.
Yeah. Oh, Hanj, I wish I was over there just to give you a massive hug. And you're doing awesome. I mean, every time that we do speak, that you keep on fighting. It's not easy what you're going through, and just to hear your story that you are still here with us, and not only are you here with us, you're also helping other people. It's God bless you.
Thank you.
And I love how you framed it. Like you gotta find it, you gotta face it, and then you gotta fight it. Usually I would say like embrace our challenges. We're so accustomed not to face what is in front of us because we're told to run away and dance it away or just forget about it or suppress our feelings that we then don't understand what's actually going on in our bodies and in our life, right? So yeah, find it, face it, fight it.
Yeah, to, and
Yeah.
then release to find your peace. But you
And
just
then
got to
release
get
it, please.
get it. It's like with this, it's like being in a big hole and you've fallen in, and people are walking around the hole and they're just looking at you, and then one person will come and put a ladder down and put a single rung on that ladder, and then someone else will come and put the rung, and you slowly start finding your
Your way up.
place in your people and who you are. Yeah,
100%.
this is what this does. The tools to climb out, and doesn't. Of course, it can't happen like now because every rung has to be
Yeah.
there for you to get out, and then like then with you, you gotta then you rise.
And that's what we did on the last day.
Yeah,
Rise like an eagle
yeah.
into the ocean.
Yeah. So even the little tools that you give us helps
Yeah.
helps that progression up.
Yeah.
Mm.
I love that. And I had actually never thought about it. I mean, there is the reason why I have the certain sessions the way they are planned up to obviously go to that rising situation when we're rising over that mountain or that hole. And I like that analogy of having those stepping stools coming out of the hole, and then you just, go to the peak, which is the rising.
Yeah, yeah, and it's all just, you know, like this, peaks and flows and ebbs and valleys, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's something different for everyone when they picture what you're doing for them. Like someone might, be up and down a mountain and up and down a cliff, or.
yeah, yeah.
Mm,
I do feel that, like, although there are so many different situations that we're all going through, internally, externally, and with different people, different lives, professions, and whatnot, um, the emotions and then all boil down to either like burnout, pain, guilt, resentment. Obviously, the situation is different, but
mm,
then that, like, bottom pit is like a community feel that many people do feel. And this is why, like, I really advocate for community. And you just touched on that point as well, that you find your people. And that's so important. I believe for everybody to find people, especially
mm,
like you and I were speaking previously, we're talking about AI and how worrying it can be, that it's just it's like robotic taking over the world, a robot
mm,
taking over the world. And yeah, so whoever's watching this, community is just so important to
mm,
keep us all sane.
yeah. And to keep fighting, because if you don't have that real person that you can rely on, then.
Exactly. Exactly. And also having that real person to rely on. They're telling us what we need to hear. And hopefully the person that we rely on is telling us what we need to hear in a gentle, loving, and kind way, but telling us the truth. AI will only tell us what we want to tell, what it wants to tell us and what we want to hear, you
Mm.
know?
Yeah, and it can be very dangerous as well in terms of what it wants to tell you. Like many people have lost their lives that way because AI gets into their brain and tells them stuff that
Yeah.
is very detrimental to their life in general. So it can have a real severe effect.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, statistics say that since the increase of AI, there have been so many more like higher death rates because,
Mm,
there isn't that community feel anymore, and people are being pushed and pushed more into feeling lonely because of this AI. And yeah, it's a revolution that is bittersweet, I guess, because obviously it does help, but it's obviously, I feel it's doing a bit more damage than not so.
yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
And so from what we had worked in together, and so let's start with what we had worked in together. What was one of your most favorite tools that you walked out with that you can use today and what we had worked on together?
Um, I'd say just you when you were saying the first things you taught us was evacuate, emotional regulate, rise. So you got to get down to what you've got to get out, and then regulate, bury it, and then you can start getting through and rising through it all.
Yeah. Yeah, I really obviously advocate on that, is because like excavation, and with excavating, we're finding it, we're facing it, and we're releasing it. Emotion regulation, we're understanding and actually regulating the emotions, and we worked on some breathing techniques, expressive writing, physiological techniques. And on the fifth day, when we rose, which was building a new community within ourselves and cementing them in, that's when we like use the physiological part of our body, and we wrote things down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then when you were saying that the voice that you listen to becomes who you are, where I've always
Yeah,
been quite a confident person, but it's the people that have been putting me down into that
yeah,
hole. So it's kind of overcoming, yeah, just like I said, a different way to be able to fight off what they're doing for me because I've got a lot of faith as well. I carry faith around, so that's one of my tools that I carry. And then, yeah, because
I'll jump on that wagon.
sometimes when you're getting kicked over and over, you kind of, it's only lately that I've lost a bit of faith. But then when you talk about, the connection, and then you build it back up.
Yeah, I agree about that wagon of faith, and it has as well. Yet it's been testing my limits as well. But when we with faith, faith can take us up that mountain or up that hole, and without faith, for me specifically, and I'm assuming it's been from our conversation with you as well, we'll just be stuck down that mountain or stuck down that hole even more.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So you just got to
I
use it all, use all that you got and all that you're given, and just keep at it.
yeah, I love how you just said that. Use it all in the Bible. I don't know what parable it comes from, but he says there is a scripture where it says, put on the full armor of God. And it's about the helmet, the sword, the breastplate, the belt,
Yes,
the shoes of righteousness and love and humbleness. And I actually really, really love that. And like once you put on our full armor of God, then there is just, we're going in. We're going
yes,
in.
yeah. I just say
Suit
suit up, suit up,
up.
suit up, and trust in Him. Like, when you're in utter darkness, there's a reason for it, so you use it to help other people.
Yes, preach on. And I love that. Suit up and keep on going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna nick that off you. Suit up.
Suit up, suit up. He's got you, and it's all for something. Like if you don't use the bad to help others for good, then they win. So you just
Yep.
got to keep using it.
Yep. I love that. Absolutely, absolutely love that. Suit up and just keep on going and help. That's exactly it. Ah, awesome. So I wanted to ask you, so right now, after our time, because we've it's been a couple of weeks now since we've last spoken. How are you feeling now after the sessions, and like are they easy to remember? Do you say, oh, I need to use that tool that I used that we worked on together, and like where are you now?
Yeah, just them little bits of things like look in the mirror, remind yourself who you are.
Yeah.
Just and when you were saying about our bodies store what our minds can't comprehend, so all that stuff that happened, even though it wasn't physical, what they done to me, it was like psychological torture. So I remind myself that I am that person that I've always been, because I've always had that mind to overcome anything or anyone. And I am who I am. I am me. And that girl can do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's so important for us to remember. And it's true because just like the simple situation that happens to us, like for example, when we become, let's say about myself, when I used to be triggered by anger, I used to become physically deformed. Like my teeth used to clench. I used to just do this. I became very, stiff, and my face used to just change, and I didn't even know. And I wouldn't even have known yet I'm feeling angry, and people would like see it, because our bodies experience and feel a lot of things more than our mind. Sometimes our mind can decide, oh, I don't really want to face that. But our body won't. Our body will say, no, you are definitely feeling that. And that's why many of us do become physically ill because we choose to suppress, or we choose to, there's this new like hype at the moment with dancing things away without talking about them. Like I agree with movement. I don't do like dance movement, but I do like physical training, so running and exercise. But we can't just dance away something that we don't even know that what we are willing to face, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I think singing, I sing, I make up songs in my head, and if I'm annoyed, I will sing and, have silly words, but that helps because it's actually getting out of your mind what you're thinking and physically releasing it through your mouth, and you can sing it in a way like you can sing it angrily, or you can sing something like a sad song, or just it actually is like a form of release, and that's when you're saying about you can't free from what you can't face, but then you face it and think it and release it out loud, then that's like a medicine as well, a tonic,
Yes.
a tonic.
Yeah. So, so you sing.
Yeah, I don't like my voice, but I sing and write songs and do music, and yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful. That's a really, really important tool for emotional regulation. So, like, whoever's watching this, I mean, part of the things that we had done together, that were the sessions we did expressive writing, um, breathing, then we did some like psychological things. But what Ange has just given us now is such a beautiful new tool. She writes it out, that's her expressive writing, and then she sings it out. And however she wants to sing it, if she wants to sing it angrily, if she wants to sing it soft or whatever, that's an awesome, awesome tool.
And for the neurotransmitters to learn something, and you're actually rebuilding neurons, and you're imagining what you're singing, so you're creating a space for something
Yeah,
new.
yeah, that's awesome. I know, and I also know that you told me that you write poetry, and I love
Mm,
that.
There's a good form of release to be able to get whatever's in
Yeah,
there out, and you can help other people
yeah,
as well.
yeah, yeah. When I was traveling, I used to write a lot of poetry. Because I had the time, and I used to absolutely love it. It's
Mm,
released so much, and even sometimes, like in the beginning, when I had just first started writing poetry, it was a very painful experience. But then when I started learning how to like just regulate that painful experience, I could write about painful experiences, but I was okay with it, which was such a beautiful journey to experience.
I write it on the walls of my house and vivid, and whatever's in my head, I'll just spit it out on the walls.
Yeah. And that's so important. It's so
Mm,
important because many of us are so taught to like, no, keep it in. That's like one of the it's like a very common human psychological trait where it's just like, no, 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 nobody has time for my problems, or like I'm not gonna express my problems, I'm just gonna keep them in. And it just doesn't help.
mm, yeah.
Yeah. I love that tool. I love it. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm.
Okay, so what were two things from the sessions that were really helpful for you as tools?
So
And
the
what, yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, the breathing was quite good because I didn't realize that could. I'm not good at breathing. I don't. I've never been good at breathing, but I'm gonna keep that in the mind with the music and the laying down, and just the
Mm,
one hand on your down here and one hand up here,
yeah, yep.
because it's only short, so I'll be able to handle that. I don't do long things, but and to help, because you said that your breath, because I've always been, I love the body and I've understanding the body, so you said the breath is the most important thing, because you don't have breath, you don't have life. If you don't
Life.
breathe, you die. So if you control the thing that keeps you alive, then you control your whole existence.
Yep. Yep, I love that. I always, yep, I always do say that if you can control the thing that controls your living existence, then you can control a lot of your emotions. And like if we really think about it, we have to breathe with every like different scenario, right? Whether we're running, whether we're lifting weights, I don't know, dancing, singing, giving birth. There are so many different ways that we need to learn how to master our breath, and we can master our breath, we can master our emotions.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Because food and
awesome.
water, people think food and water is the most important, but you can go without food and water for days and days on end, but you can't go without
Yeah.
breathing, obviously.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. And is there anything that you would like to share from your experience, like on a personal side of how you can help people? Um, well, like we started the conversation saying that you are experiencing certain circumstances from the external world, and then obviously when we work together, we work through certain different things. Is there something that you can share with other people of how you are managing to fight these circumstances, and what advice would you give to other people?
Um, so with living with a brain disease that can't be fully diagnosed until I die, it is extremely, extremely hard. But I've survived with my faith in God that got me out of where I was when I had no one. Like I was down to nobody in my life. Everyone walked away, but I had my faith in God. I could talk to Him. That was my connection to breath, pretty much. And then my animals, I rescue animals who are my life, who I live for. And I'd pretty much given up on people because of what was done to me through the ignorance of CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, and but with the faith and God and my animals, people came to me because they seen the love I had for both God and my animals. And then from there, I found my tribe. I found other people, other warriors with chronic traumatic encephalopathy all around the world. And when I was at rock bottom, they were on my mind. How do I find them? How do I help them? How do I keep them survive? Because if I don't want to breathe anymore, where are they and how do I help them? And then, like you said, community and finding your people, yeah, is the
Um,
most important thing. And so many people have no one, and so many peoples might just have an animal, but they haven't got a connection to humanity because humanity has been erased from the type of abuse people have suffered at the
yeah,
hands of. Yeah, so it's just having a can you've just find a connection to something. It doesn't matter if it's God or a tree or an animal, and then your people will find you.
yeah,
So
yeah,
don't give up on you because you don't know who could be looking at you and thinking, well, if she can, I can.
yeah. I love that how like what drives you forward is with God and faith and connection. It's also your need to want to help other people that are going through your circumstance. And that is such a powerful purpose to have in life is to, be self-sacrificing and self-serving people because it's true. I mean, I always I always do say, like, if you're going to work with somebody, whatever profession, whether it's like coaching, psychologist, psychotherapist, whatever profession it is, like, you need to have somebody that's walks your walk and talks your talk. Obviously, each and every situation will be different, but there is that relatability you can relate with, you know? It was like
Yeah,
before I became a mother, as in like growing a baby, I could never understand like what working mothers were going through nowadays, especially with the first 3 months of that psychological um brain situations that they go through, and the thoughts and then the nausea and whatnot. But then like when I actually went through it, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, mothers are like literal superhumans, women are superhumans, like.
mm, yeah,
So I
mm,
love how you found that purpose in you to keep on going, like with your brain injury, and you found that purpose, and you're reaching out to people, and people are reaching out to you. People are reaching out to you, and that's so important because yeah, in a world that's ever growing online and AI, we need more people like you. So thank you
Mm,
for
thank
doing what you do.
Yeah, just being real. It's very
Yeah,
important.
yeah. Be real. Yeah, and speak right, speak up.
Yeah, always speak up for what's right. Never
Yeah,
let the bully beat you or anyone
exactly.
else. You've got to, yeah, use it and save lives.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes we can just feel like we want to give up with that bully and then just say, yeah, you know what, it might be just easier not to suit up and just leave you alone. But then sometimes it's just like, nah, I'm gonna suit up and I'm gonna face you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, awesome, Ange. Thank you for sharing your life advice with us and your life with us and the tools and frameworks that you have learned as well throughout your life. Is there anything you'd like to add?
I'd just like to thank you and the other ladies that run in the course that gave it their all. And you could see, just how far we came in that few days. Only you know, it's just about giving someone something and not expecting anything in return. So
Yeah, yeah. We were an awesome community, and everybody just helping each other and showing up. It's powerful,
yeah,
powerful. We all
yeah,
had our own different situations and circumstances and events, and we all were just like so open and vulnerable with each other. We're just like, here, take me. This is who I am, and I'm ready.
yeah. It's amazing. So thank you for all you've done. And I've got my notes because with my I haven't got a great memory, but I've got my notes and my tools and even the little things. I am no longer a slave to you. I am free and bold through Jesus Christ. And that was your another
That's
tool.
my
Another tool that you gave me.
Yeah, I was just to feed of what Andrew was saying. I was a slave to my past, and I held so much resentment that I just couldn't move on in my life. And then I had to create this freedom in myself, and it was like I am free from my past, and I am bold through Jesus Christ. Jesus basically saved me as well 10 years ago, and that's where my faith journey started. Before I was a massive, massive atheist, and I mocked the guy in the sky and the people as well who believe the guy in the sky. I used to be like, you are not normal to believe that there's something in the sky, but he taught me differently 10 years ago.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
showed me it was not normal. It's like,
yeah,
Shan, you know that finger you've been pointing? Look at those three pointing back at you.
yeah. Yeah, we've all got to have something to get us through.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Okay, cool. Thank you, and
Thank you.
bye bye.
Bye.